The Divines saved me from the streets, and they can say... you from your trials as well.
Papa says I won't see Rob here anymore.
So, what do we... By your scent, I'd say you were from the guild. But that can't be true, because I told Mercer I wouldn't deal with them anymore. I don't deal in land or property. Now, if you're looking for goods, you've come to the right person. Oh, wait. I'm sorry to say I know very little about that bee farm, was it? Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. I can't be expected to remember every deal I handle. I don't care what you promise. If I tell you the buyer's name and word gets around, it can ruin me. Well, now that you mention it, I have a buyer looking for a case of firebrand wine. Just bring it to me, and we'll talk about Golden Glow Estate.
Sorry, I was lost in thought. I'm planning my wedding this year. Some say I got my position because my cousin is the emperor. Nonsense.
I wish only to graduate and enroll with the Legion. And why wouldn't I be? We sing tales of kings, the person who writes it. I'm a bard, from the Bard's College here in Solitude. Wanderers like you should think about flying.
Heard they're reforming the Dawn Guard. Word is Elenwen's furious. Big party at the Thalmor embassy. And one of the guests went someplace they shouldn't. Caused quite a commotion. Please don't interrupt the court.
Please don't interrupt the court. Please, don't interrupt the court.
Coming from me. We're the only people around who aren't complete. We need someone to investigate.
Then we will immediately send out a legion to scour the cave and secure the town. Hafingar's people will always be safe under
Your
my
Eminence, my scrying has suggested nothing in the area. Dragonbridge is under Imperial control. This is likely superstitious nonsense.
Perhaps a more tempered reaction might be called for?
Oh, yes, of course, you were right. Falk, tell Captain Aldous I said to assign a few extra soldiers to Dragonbridge.
Thank you, Jarl Elisif. What about the cave?
I will have someone take care of the cave as well, Barnes. You can rest easy. You're dismissed.
I've got what I came for. I've done my part. Dragonbridge will have extra guards. Falk Firebeard will find a way to take care of the cave.
If I needed something, nothing. I'm busy, and I don't like being bothered. Oh, don't give me that look. Fine, I suppose I can find some menial... We have something of a vampire problem. Bodies have been found with blood drain. I don't expect you to be capable of even that. I was, to my shame. The whole court was in attendance. I've seen... because Ulfric needed a symbol. Someone he could defeat that represented the Empire. The white gold Toryg's father Islot had held Skyrim together for nearly 25 years. When he died, Toryg became... No, even after Islot died, the Moot voted to make Toryg High King. But Ulfric was at that Moot. I don't think Ulfric knew how much Toryg respected him for that. If Ulfric had asked Toryg directly to stand up, to declare independence, Toryg might have done it. Because the Dominion is a sleeping beast that Skyrim cannot slay alone. Because many Nords are part of the because the food and resources we get from the Empire are important to our people. Because even if we can't openly worship him, Talos the god was once Tiber Septim the man, and Toryg wasn't ready to let it fall apart. I was a member of the court during the reign of Torig's father. It was Torig who appointed me to the position. Very. I helped raise him. Oh, I could not have been more proud to see Torig on the throne. He made a fine king. I was a member of the court during the reign of... I like to think I've aged well. I'm certainly wiser than I once was. And I know when one should speak, and when... I can teach you, but I won't be held responsible for what you do with the knowledge. Not really. Varnius Junius is a fool. I suppose if you're truly interested, you could talk to Falk. He's the better safe than sorry type.
Do you have business? I am the Jarl's steward. You mean the Dragon Bridge issue? I'll be honest with you. I was glad. There have been reports of weird happenings near Wolfskull Cave. I don't think it's worth our time with the war going on. But if you want to clear out the cave, I'll make sure the cave has a bad history. Long ago, Potema the Wolf Queen used it for necromantic rituals. That was over 500 years ago. Nothing much down there now. But everyone's always convinced the cave is... Of course he does. What sort of a question is that? Maybe you've been listening to Erica. There's been loose talk among some of the Thanes. You'll pay those rumors no heed if you wish to retain your welcome in this city. She may be young, but Elisif is the Jarl by right. And here in Scotland, you do well to remember. That remains to be seen. By rights, she has a legitimate claim, but we must have the support of the other Jarls for that claim to have. Should they accept her rule, we will have peace. Feel free to return.
Be quick. I have little patience for mundane.
If you have business, please see Falk Firebeard.
Because that's what traitorous cowards do when they... Ulfric coveted the High King's throne. He thought he just... And so he came before my husband and he shouted. When Ulfric unleashed such fury, my husband, he simply ceased. That is all I will say. For it grieves me to speak of it. Not yet, no. Although it is true my husband Torig was the High King, and I am his widow. Now is not the time. This land is riven by war, and her people suffer for it. The Stormcloaks are a blight on Skyrim, and like any blight, must... Only then will I take my rightful place as High Queen. A question I am all too familiar with. One my very Thanes ask often. They worry that Tullius is so focused on the war that he risks forgetting what's best for our people. The real irony is that, while General Tullius is certainly no Nord, the people of Skyrim would be... Trust is always difficult, especially for my people. Yet we must trust in Tullius's leadership. For what other choice do we have? Be well.
Please address all questions to the steward. As if Skyrim didn't have enough outsiders.
Do you have business with the court?
I have so very many ways to deal with people. Very few of them pleasant. You're... So, you wish to master the arcane arts? Stay guarded.
The Imperials are good for business, and business is... Oh, most certainly. At least when Elisif. If you're inquiring whether we have concerns about her age and inexperience, the Thanes have every confidence in General Tullius's leadership. I'm a Thane. In the future, you may want to gain that information before talking
Be
with
quick.
someone.
I have little patience.
Fame right.
I can always find time to share a word.
I must
with the
return
warrior.
to the court. They simply can't make do without me.
Watch your feet. Got lots of things to take care of. What do you need?
Oh, hello. Just tidying up. Hey! Watch it!
Jarls come and Jarls go. But a good cook stays for a lifetime. And I'm a very, very good cook.
So you can cast a few spells. Am I supposed to do... Heard about you and your honeyed words.
No doubt most folk in Skyrim consider the dragons terrifying. No, that honor is Sabiel's stench, and keeps himself out of the dungeon when she's having a bad day. Let's just say that the headsman's axe may not be the worst way for a solitude jail prisoner. Look at that. I told you to watch your tongue, and mine is waggling. I make sure Erica keeps breathing. You are free to leave.
Those tendrils bind up. You help me. You help people, right? My master has abandoned me. Now he refuses to even see me. He says I interrupt his vacation. It's been so many years. Last I saw him, he was visiting a friend in the Blue Palace. But no one as mundane as a Jarl. No, he went into the forbidden wing of the palace to speak with an old friend. Oh, and you'll need the hippo. It's very important. No entering Pelagius's wing without that. Oh, you just don't understand. Without him, I am not free. Without him, I am doomed. All of his empire shall fall into chaos.
No doubt most folk in Sky...
I don't buy the fancy clothes. Don't think you... Huh? What business do college majors have in a place like Sartan anyway?
Youngest bard at the Bard's College, at your service.
My position, Dean of History, actually covers a wide range of subjects. I teach poetry,
Welcome to the Bard's
writing,
College.
history. And the
Master here.
what a fascinating... Well, you've come to the right place.
May songs sing you along.
Well, you've come to the right place. Well, you've come to the right place. It is. We train the bards you hear throughout the land. Viarmo is the head of the college and in charge of admissions.
Welcome to solitude. Not much. But as a bard, I find the whole affair depressing. There are no heroes in this war, no winners to be had, and no real conclusion. If you want something a bard can dig into, look to the dragons. 1,000 years from now, Skyrim will have changed rulers dozens of times, but the return of the dragons, that story is once in an era. Not much, to be honest. Their return was a shock to us all. Gerard Germain has some tomes about them in the library, if you're interested. You should be aware that many apply, but when possible, we ask applicants to perform tasks the college needs completed. In this case, Elisif has forbidden the burning of King Olaf, a festival put on, but to convince her, I want to read King Olaf's verse, a part of the Poetic Edda, the living history of Skyrim. Unfortunately, the verse was lost long ago. Yes, according to Giraud, our history's keeper, the portion of the Edda dealing with King Olaf might still exist. I need you to retrieve the poem. As you may be aware, Elisif's husband, High King Tori, was recently killed. Elisif mourns her husband deeply, and she feels that a festival that burns a king in effigy. I tried to convince her the festival is many centuries old and celebrates solitude. I believe King Olaf's verse will provide that proof. I think Giraud here would give you the best explanation of both it and the history of King Olaf's verse. You should speak to him about it. I wish you luck.
Good to meet a prospective bard. He's sending you after King Olaf's verse then. That's good. We shouldn't leave it lying around now that I figured the verse was Svaknir's contribution to the Poetic Edda. The living history of Skyrim. Each bard adds to the Edda in his or her time, and a very ancient one. The verse criticized the reigning King Olaf. He was so incensed the bard was put to death and all the copies burned. At least that's what we thought until I translated some ancient texts a year or so ago. We now believe King Olaf buried the truth with, if I'm right, Svaknir and King Olaf's verse lie in Dead Men's Respite, along with the burial chamber of King Olaf himself. Well, you've come to the right place. Remember, being a bard...
Morrowind, I wish only to graduate and the person who writes it.
My position, Dean of History, actually covers a wide range of subjects. I mean, poetry, writing, history, and the finer points of court life.
It's an honor to have Viarmo for instruction on drum, but it's far too reserved for my tastes.
You found the Bard's College Kitchen. Congratulations. Meals are served to bards at designated times. Find an inn if you want to make requests.
What a fascinating time to be alive.
You'll return with King Olaf's verse.
These days will be remembered long after we're gone.
I'm Dean of Loot at the Bard's College, and no, I don't give private lessons.
That was better,
It's your job to deliver these songs, to excite the crowds, draw them in. They will love you for it. Very good. Let's continue with our practice.
Few can resist my charms. Even fewer are worthy of them.
It's your job to deliver these songs to a white money.
position, Dean of History.
Excite the crowd. Draw them in. They would love you.
Youngest bard at the Bard's
History
College.
and the finer points of courthouse.
Good evening. I'm Pantia Atia, the master vocalist.
Please, take pity. He stays in the Pelagius wing of the Blue Palace. But I hear the maids, Una and Erdi, know how to enter it for cleaning. Surely they could. Without his guidance, our homeland is falling apart. North wages war against South. The holy flame flickers. Oh, but I'm sure he'll repay you when he comes to his senses. His favor is a powerful, powerful thing, and so very worth it. He is a great man, but one rarely praised. He rules twin empires that span the length and breadth of our minds. All know him, but few. But he has forbidden me from saying his name. He says it distracts, but you will know him when you see him. He's the one who made me like this. Uh-huh.
What business do college mages have in a place like Sarthon anyway? It's a place for Nord dead, not your weird experiments.
The gods gave you two hands. Use them all. Unless we have specific business, I'm not interested.
No lollygagging.
What do you need?
1 second.
I'm telling you, Ulfric's planning an attack on Whiterun.
He'd be insane to try. He doesn't have the men.
That's not what my scouts report, sir. Every day more join his cause. Riften, Dawnstar, and Winterhold support him.
It's not a cause. It's a rebellion.
Call it whatever you like, General. The man's going to try to take Whiterun.
Jarl Balgruuf.
Balgruuf refuses the Legion's right to garrison troops in the city.
You heard
On the other
Helgen.
hand, also refuses-
Speak to Legate Ricka. I suspect. Speak with Legate Ricka. We need the rift. We need to regain control of it before we can march on Windhelm without... Ulfric will want to take Whiterun from us. But we will hold fast. We can't... There's not much up there. But if we can regain Winterhold, our proximity to Windhelm should keep Ulfric wary and wasting troops garrisoned at home. Ulfric's Stormcloak's head rolling away from his lifeless body. The Legion's always been here. Without us to keep order, the provinces would fall into barbarism. Take, for example, Ulfric Stormcloak and his little rebellion. But rest assured, his days are numbered. I'm originally from Cyrodiil, sent here at the request of the Emperor himself. I'm often ordered to places with problems that need fixing. Now, while I'm certain this is all terribly interesting to you,
General.
I haven't. You people and your dad. Hjalmarch is an important buffer zone between the rebel forces and the capital. There's not much up there, but if we can regain Winterhold,
Sir,
our proximity to
can't
Windhelm
force
should
him
keep
to
your guard up.
accept
Wary
help
and
he
wasting
hasn't asked
troops
for.
garrisoned. If Ulfric's making a move for Whiterun, then we need to be there to stop him. Draft another letter with the usual platitudes, but this time share some of your intelligence regarding Ulfric's plans. Embellish if you have to. We'll let it seem like it's his idea. Watch yourself.
Yes, sir.
You Nords and your bloody sense of honor.
Sir, you survived. I've got a good feeling about you, and I don't often get good feelings about anything. I'm not going to go through the normal process with you. I've got a little test lined up. Pass that, and we'll talk. Is that confidence or bravado? Confidence I can use. Bravado, we'll soon find out. I'm sending you to clear out Fort Hrogstad. If you die, then I'll have no further use for your corpse. The ancients built many of the fortresses that dot the landscape of Skyrim. Sadly, most have fallen into disrepair, and nearly all have been... Fort Hrogstad is... We're going to install a garrison there, but first, you're going to clean out the bandits that have moved in. Oh, not so... Yes, this is a test. I don't think you're regular militia material. Well, if you change your mind,
Make it quick.
you know what to
Get
do.
enough delays from
What's
politicians.
the matter? What's the matter, soldier? What's the matter, soldier? I gave you an order. I want that fort, and I want it now.
Can't wait to
Move
kill
it.
another of Ulfric's board.
Think you've got the medal, huh?
Honestly, if you're serious, you're in the right place. Our headquarters is in Castle Dower. But talk to Legate Ricca. She handles the local recruiting.
I'd be a lot warmer and a lot happier with a belly full of meat. The winking skeevers got warm. Staying safe, I hope. Take care with those men.
Go cast your fancy magic someplace else.
Heard about you and your hunt. Unless we have specific business, I'm not interested.
Hey, wanna play? I thought adventurers were supposed to look. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! I bet my papa could beat. Hey, you wanna play a game? Really? All right. You pick. Tag or hide and seek. Okay, you're it.
The best. Can you be my father?
You're too slow. You can't catch me. You caught me.
I don't want to talk. I shouldn't be. Mama says maybe if I don't talk, they won't either. Dragon? Really? Was it big? Did it breathe fire? Oh wow, I knew it! I knew they were real! I have to remember to tell Papa. I don't have anything. Thanks. Papa talks about it some. Mom doesn't say much since Uncle Rob here. I wish you would. At least that way she'd have people to talk to. You would do that? That's great. You should go do it right now.
You were there for Rogvir's execution. Most people head over to the Winking Skeever. If you're not interested in music or drink, you can at least talk to Corpulus. He can fill you in on any of the latest gossip. Perhaps, but necessary. My cousin Fura is somewhere out there in Skyrim right now, fighting Ulfric's Stormcloak. She wouldn't have to be there at all if it weren't. And my aunt wouldn't have to worry about her daughter. You really don't know? He lets Ulfric's Stormcloak escape Solitude. Ulfric rides in, murders the High King, and Rogvir lets him ride right back out. People to see and places to go, huh? Later.
You're passing through Solitude? Maybe you're looking to make... It's easy to find things to sell. Things no but... I bet the two of us were very alike. My sister Deja and I are treasure hunters. We like to collect things. I knew with the war, many more ships come through these docks, loaded with weapons and pay, but few. We have an interest in one of those boats. The Solitude Lighthouse will be guiding it in, but if its fire were to go out, the ice runner would run aground. What an interesting Yes, if someone were to put out the lighthouse fire and then meet me on the docks afterwards, I could certainly direct... Don't worry about them. We'll make sure they wash up safe. Maybe they'll even pay us for their heroic rescue from their sad crash. Turn me in? For what? What crimes? A tragic and very... Don't worry about them. We'll make sure they wash up safe.
Are you here to talk about my brother?
For their heroic
Do you think his
rescue
execution
from
was
their
justified?
sad crash.
And like Rogvir, you're a Nord at heart. It's hard for many of the people here. I think Aldous understands. I don't think I could have stayed. I think I need to stop talking now. I'm not looking for conversation.
You should see me.
Rogvir,
bored,
he opened a gate. He opened a gate, and the wrong man rode out of it. If that man hadn't been Ulfric's Stormcloak, but it was Ulfric, and he did kill the High King in honorable combat. My brother refused to allow the Imperials to take revenge for... So now he's dead. Then like Rogvir, you have a Nord. I think Aldous understands. I think I need to be done talking for the moment. If you want to talk about then you didn't know Rogvir. He did the honorable thing. Even my brother was the best man in Solitude.
I'm a little busy.
I'm in mourning. Can't you see that? And like, I think I need to stop talking now. Yes? She did she? She's gonna get a sit down later. Well, I wish it were that simple. Maybe it is. Look, I want to go back, but I won't feel right in there without a tie to... My brother Rogvir wore a symbol of Talos. He kept... I can't go near his body. Would you get it back for me? Thanks. I should make sure Sfari's okay.
As High Priest of the Eight Divines, I bid you welcome.
We've got something for just about everybody in here. Give a holler if you have any questions.
You're a traveler, correct? Have you been to Whiterun? Wonderful. I hadn't really hoped to run into some... My daughter Fura was assigned to Whiterun. I haven't heard from her lately. I've tried talking to Captain Aldous, but he hasn't been any help. Oh, that's very sweet of you. Anything you can find out from No. Mostly, I'm just a simple herbalist. We mostly carry herbs and alchemical ingredients, that sort of thing. Before the war, our stock... These days, we have more people like you coming in, looking for healing and the like. So you're interested in my potions and ingredients? Don't forget, it's good to see you. Take a look.
If you're looking for opportunities to make some coin, well, I'm your man. Everyone needs work, right? I have good work for you. It would be best if we spoke little until you've completed your task. Everyone needs work, right? I have good work for you. Everyone needs work, right? I have good work for you.
traveler, correct? I haven't heard from her lately. Oh, that's very sweet of you. These days... No. So you're interested in my potions and ingredients? Don't forget me next time you need herbs and potions.
You look new. I'm new too. I think we could be friends. You look new. I'm new too. I think we could be friends.
As High Priest of the Eight Divines, I bid you welcome.
Baron said you got here just before the Baron's my husband. He works the forge up at Castle Dower. I barely... No, that was an... Between you and me, he wasn't even that good a king. All of the... Take a look. Trinkets, odds and ends, that sort of thing. Come back to bits and pieces anytime.
Adventurers were 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
I'm afraid I'm running errands at the moment. Visit me later at the Temple of the Divines.
Seems there's no end to the needs of the Imperials. I think I would, if it weren't... Oh, same I would have my hide if I even see... You think Stormcloaks and Legionnaires are dangerous? Ha! It's almost all I have taught. The men training here in Solitude, and the troops out. You should look into joining. To be honest, no. But High King Torrig supported them. And now, her Lady Elisif has thrown in with... You could say I'm a king's man at heart. My loyalty lies with Solitude. Where Jarl Elisif leads, take a look. Take a look.
I've been looking for anytime you need arms or arms. A note from someone. Looks like that's it. Got to go.
True, I may look the part of dashing swordsman, but I prefer the art of... Why, of course. And will you also be needing the bow that shoots rainbows? Look, if you want arrows, we have them. What are you hunting? Never mind. I don't want to know. Perhaps I'll be seeing more of you.
Plenty of fresh fish for you.
Sorry, yes. I've tried to explain that Rogvir did something bad, and that we all have to be accountable for our actions. But the child fears what she will. Down at the docks. There are a few good spots if you can avoid the East Empire Company workers and those. Take a look. See for yourself.
These are troubled times.
You look like you could do with a ripe apple. I have my ways, but if the Black Blood Marauders have been plundering ships off... Not lately. Business has... Take a look. Come back when you figure out how to spend money.
Few can resist my charms.
You wouldn't have a few minutes to run down to the docks, would you? Oh, very brisk. When the snow sets in, even... Well, I've got a shipment of spices the East Empire Company is holding up. Great. Get back to me when you're done and I'll give you something for your time. Oh, yes. A secret family recipe. The only good thing my father Octia... Oh, very brisk. When the snow sets in, even the hardiest Nord needs some spiced wine.
You were there for Rogvir's execution. People to see and places to go, huh?
True, I may look the part of dashing swordsman.
Being old's not so bad. Daughter keeps me fed. And I work. I'm too old to work. You got nothing better to do than bother an old man?
Seems there's always more to... I showed up to... I don't know if they were right to execute. It couldn't have happened to a nicer... Listen, Rogvir and I grew up together. It was us, a few others. I have no idea why, but one day I told Rogvir I liked her. From that point forward, every time Vivienne and I were angry, he beat me up, dumped meat on my head, anything he could get away with. Once he even slipped up. We were children, sure, but Rogvir never outgrew that immaturity or his cruelty. So any talk about him being an honorable Nord? Pure folly.
Hello, I'm Gisli. But you can just call me Erica's sister. Oh, if you're looking for a good attitude, go see the bar. If you're looking for truth instead, see Noster. And if you're just looking to feel good, go get some spiced wine from Yvette. But what... Yes, my older brother. But really, since Torig's death, Falk Firebeard wields the true power of the Jarl's court. My brother is nothing more than a pompous little Feel free to make requests. We'll speak again later. Oh, no. But being surrounded by good music, good drink, and good... Generally, if you want rumors, you should talk to Corpulus. That said, I did see a visitor pass through on his way to the... Sure. What can I do for you? Sure. My voice could use a rest. There's nothing like a good song. Generally, if you want rumors, you should talk to Corpulus. That said, I did see a visitor pass through on his way to the Blue Palace. You should think about staying the night.
You were there for Rogvir's execution.
True.
Your
People
typical
to see and
solid
places to
who
go,
thinks
huh?
she's like this.
Ah, yet another new face. I'm from Hammerfell, you see. Aye, but I'll be here in solitude for longer still. Fiata's skill as a Fletcher drew me to this place, and there is still much of Skyrim I wish to see. I hear there is a city, Windhelm, that is nearly white with, and far to the west lies a ruin, Volskine. Inside there's said to be a wall, black as night. There are wonders in this place I never dreamed of. Where the dragon attacked, we've heard rumors of death and fire from the skies, but no real. Then we should soon be selling arrows by the bushel. A sword is no good against a dragon.
Glad you decided to check us out. I showed up to... I don't know if they were right to execute him for what he did, but
Papa
I'll
says
tell
I
you
won't
something.
see Rob
Welcome
there.
to the winking skeever. Well, as it turns out, I had a pet skeever when I was a boy, and he used to wink. They were smaller back then. Drink for the thirsty, food for the hungry.
Being friends with the bartenders.
Well, as it turns out, I had a pet skeever. I thought so. Remember the winking skeever? If you need a good room, sure thing. It's yours for a day. I'll show you to your room. Right this way.
Ah, I see. Good. Can't have the buyer getting impatient. Here, take this. I certainly can't use it, but I suppose I need to pay you something for the goods. Not at all. I can... As far as Golden Glow Estate goes, I was approached by a woman who wanted me to act as the broker for something big. She flashed a bag of gold in my face and said all I had to do was pay Arangoth for the estate. I brought in the coin and walked away with her copy of the deed. Not at all. I tend not to ask too many questions when I'm on the job. However, I did notice she was quite angry, and it was being directed at Mercer Frey. In this business, we rarely deal in names. Our identity comes from how much coin we carry. Look, that's all I know. And now, since our transaction is done, I'll be on my way. Look, I've told you everything. Now leave me alone.
Your typical solitude wench is like the
By
city.
blade or by spell?
Stormy exterior.
What dangers and wonders shall we discover in the frozen waste? I can hardly wait to find out.
You were there for Rogvir's
Let's go.
execution. Hello, I'm
People to
Gisli.
see and places to
But
go,
you can
huh?
just call
Welcome
me
to the
Erica's
winking
sister.
skeever, friend.
So
Everyone
exciting
does.
when new folk come into town.
Oh, I'd get in trouble for that. It's not allowed. Besides, it's skip. Well, I suppose in that case it's okay to let you in. But only briefly. Be careful and come right back.
Yet another new face.
Okay.
I'm from Hammerfell, you
Watch
see.
what you're
I can
doing.
hardly
You need a
keep
good
track of
room
all the
or
people I've been meeting.
I think I
Papa
can
says I
May
want
the
to
gods
rob
watch
you.
over your battles, friend.
But he wouldn't tell me
Seems
why
there's
not.
always more to be done.
Someday a gallant hero will ride up and take me away. Someday.
I'm too old to work. That don't make me too old to drink.
Why, hello. Here to buy. If you... Watch it.
Yes? Let's
We
go.
provide clothing for all of Solitude's most... Nothing at all. It's very nice. If you want something with a little more style, however, you should... It's not an insult. If I were walking around with a wound, I would... Your outfit is something of an open wound. You're really going to the Blue Palace. If you are willing to wear one of Radiant Raymond's outfits and speak to the Jarl, I would not only pay you, but let you keep the outfit. Good. Here's the outfit. Try to get Elisif's opinion on it, and if she likes it, mention it's from Radiant Raymond. Nothing at all. It's not. If I... Your outfit is something of an open wound where attire is concerned. Thank you for your patronage. Oh, let me just drop everything to... Radiant Raiment has the finest attire in all of Skyrim. That, it is when my customers waste time chatting and not buying. What? We provide clothing for all of Solitude's most influential residents. But for you, I'll make an exception. Speak quickly. I do hope you'll remain in Solitude. Thank the gods for the end of yet another... Yes? Need something?
What do you want, little elf?
All right then.
Spare some gold for a veteran? Can you spare a What? You see a man? I was there. I fought in the Great War. You understand? They left me for dead. Oh, thank you. Divines bless your kind heart.
Hail, companion.
You're not supposed to be in here. You're not supposed to be in here.
Why is it always wizards? some of my own ancestors might be paying.
Wolf Queen, here of the summoned long have you slept the of death of hell. No longer. We summoned him. Something is wrong. There is an intruder.
What's the hurry?
time to end this.
You'd have to be pretty desperate to want to make a home in this dang hole. This is what passes for Imperial craftsmanship. Try not to sneeze, or you might bring the whole fort down. Careful. Now, is this a surprise? Chopping wood, perhaps? That can't be good.